welcome to another Sandia Mountain Natural History Quick Trip. Today's trip has us biking out here in the Manzanita Mountains, and today we're going to talk a little bit about safety. The things to think about before you go out on a trip, and the things that you want to bring. You know, we've been promoting getting outdoors and having fun on these quick trips, and I thought it was important to take a minute and talk a little bit about what you probably should bring and think about before you head out. People often get nervous when they're starting to head out into the outdoors, and there's really nothing to be afraid of, as long as you take a few precautions and always use your head. So there's a few guidelines that I like to think about. Number one is travel with a companion. It's always safer to have two people in case somebody gets hurt. That is at least until your skills get better and better, and you get more knowledgeable and feel more comfortable in the woods. So traveling with a companion is always a good idea. It's always good to be in good physical condition, or at least good enough condition for the activity that you're going to attempt. People don't just climb Mount Everest going from the beach to Mount Everest. So it's a good idea to be in good physical condition for the activity that you're going to attempt. It's also very important to wear appropriate clothing. The clothing might be a helmet and gloves if you're mountain biking. It might be warm clothes if you're going skiing, but always having the appropriate clothing and maybe even a little extra in your bag. It's also important to always check your equipment. Before every ride, I make sure that everything's working on my bike. I don't want to be way out into the woods, have a malfunction, and be further than I can walk back to the car, or just have to walk back to the car. That's not as much fun, dragging a mountain bike. So checking your equipment. If you're hiking, make sure that your backpack is all sewn up and ready to go, that your shoes are in good condition, that the laces aren't frayed. Things like that. Check your equipment. Always, always, always make sure that you know what the weather forecast is and prepare for it. Even if there's not weather like rain and snow predicted, it's probably a good idea to be prepared for it. Have some rain gear, have some shelter in your pack. And finally, it's a good idea to be brushed up on your first aid skills. You don't have to be an ER doctor to go out into the woods, but it is good to have some basic first aid skills. And of course, a first aid kit, which we'll talk about here in a few minutes. Once you have those simple points down, it's time to head out into the woods and have some fun. The gear that you have with you in your bag is usually going to be split into two groups. The first group is the gear that is specific to that day's adventure. For example, today I'm mountain biking, so I have an extra shirt in case it gets cool, a bike pump, a spare tube, some tools, some snacks, some things like that. The second part of your gear is going to be what I consider the essentials, and that's what we're going to take a little bit closer look at right now. In addition to my other gear that I have for today, like I said, mountain biking gear and camera equipment, I always have this tin. This has the essential things I need in the event that I need to spend the night out. This is not going to be a comfortable night, but it will be a night that I can survive and get myself out the next day. It should also be noted that a first aid kit with supplies up to your abilities should also be included in any trip.